Welcome back to Law Logical, your weekly dose of the basics of law. Today, we're diving into a topic that's extremely relevant in today's digital world, e-contracts and their integration with the Indian Contract Act. If you've ever clicked "I agree" on a website or signed an electronic document, you've engaged in an e-contract. But how does this work legally? How do traditional laws apply to digital agreements? Stay tuned as we unpack it all. Contracts have come a long way, from being written on paper to now existing in digital formats. But did you know that the principles governing both types of contracts are essentially the same? That's where the Indian Contract Act of 1872 comes into play. This act forms the foundation of contract law in India, covering the essentials of all agreements, including modern e-contracts. Whether you're signing a physical document or agreeing to terms online, understanding how this old legislation applies to new age contracts is crucial for both individuals and businesses. The Indian Contract Act is the cornerstone of Indian commercial law, shaping how contracts are formed, enforced, and interpreted. Enacted in 1872 during British rule, it standardized the rules around contracts to ensure predictability and legal security in all transactions. Whether you're dealing with a simple handshake deal or a complex corporate agreement, the Act defines key elements like proposal, acceptance, consideration, and free consent. These principles apply to e-contracts too, making sure that even digital agreements hold legal weight. So, what exactly is an e-contract? It's essentially an agreement created and signed in an electronic form. And thanks to technology, we now have various types of e-contracts. For example, you've probably encountered a clickwrap agreement. That's when you click "I agree" on a website. Then there's browsewrap, where the terms are available as a hyperlink, and continuing to use the site implies your agreement. E-signatures are also a huge part of this digital shift. They serve as the digital equivalent of handwritten signatures, allowing parties to authenticate and validate their contracts electronically. Now here's where the Indian Contract Act comes in. Even though this law was written well over a century ago, its principles still apply to e-contracts today. However, modern legislation like the Information Technology Act of 2000 has been introduced to specifically recognize and validate electronic agreements. The IT Act recognizes digital signatures and electronic records, ensuring they're legally valid. This provides businesses and individuals the confidence to engage in digital transactions, knowing that e-contracts are just as enforceable as traditional ones. Let's break down some of the key provisions from the Indian Contract Act that impact e-contracts. First, Section 10 highlights the essentials of a valid contract: offer, acceptance, lawful consideration, and free consent. Whether you're signing a physical contract or a digital one, these fundamentals don't change. Next, Section 11 deals with capacity, meaning only individuals of sound mind and of legal age can enter into a contract. This applies to e-contracts too. Then we have Section 14, which focuses on free consent. This protects parties from being forced into agreements under duress, fraud, or misrepresentation. But it's not all smooth sailing. E-contracts also come with their own set of challenges. Cybersecurity is a major concern. How do we ensure that digital signatures and e-contracts aren't tampered with? Ensuring security and authentication is crucial, which is why technologies like encryption and blockchain are being used to safeguard digital agreements. Jurisdiction is another challenge. Since e-contracts can happen across borders, determining which laws apply can be tricky. To wrap it up, the Indian Contract Act continues to be relevant even in today's digital era. While traditional contracts laid the groundwork, the rise of e-contracts has introduced new dimensions to how we form agreements. By understanding both frameworks and staying informed, businesses and individuals can navigate this evolving landscape with confidence. If you found this video helpful, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Law Logical for more insights on legal topics. Until next time, stay informed and legally savvy.